What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. My name is Jeremy and this is Jeremy's Wild World. Now, as you saw from today's title, today we're going to be rehousing the absolutely stunning Stegodyphus dumicola. Now, these are an absolutely gorgeous species of Oresidae and they're commonly known as a communal web spider because they do show communal traits in the wild, where in the wild they'll have massive bushes, they'll web up the entire bush, and there'll be loads of individuals living within that communal webbing, and it's absolutely stunning. Today I'm going to be rehousing 3 of them into a communal style enclosure, and I'm super excited to show you how I'm going to set them up. And so far they've been doing absolutely fantastic. And yeah, so basically I'm going to be showing you how I set up my Oresidae enclosures, and if you follow these steps, you know, in a smaller scale, larger scale, you basically use this kind of setup for all Oresidae species because they do pretty much like the same kind of habitat where it's drier environment, but we will talk about that later in today's video. But yeah, so before we get into it, I just want to quickly say that according to my YouTube statistics, a lot of you guys who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more, click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell down below so you guys don't miss out on future content. Now, without further ado, let's start off today's video by showing off the absolutely stunning spiders. So to start off today's video, guys, as you can see, I'm going to be talking about the actual spiders that we're going to be rehousing today, which of course is Stegodyphus dumicola. Now, these spiders are absolutely gorgeous and I've been wanting to keep this species for quite some time. I had Stegodyphus lineatus, but I've never had the opportunity to work with dumicola until today. Now, these of course I did pick up at the BTS for an absolute bargain price, as you can see on the tub right here, which is 3 for £30, absolute bargain. And they are just sitting up here. They're really good size, and you know, not super tiny but not huge, so hopefully I'll be able to at least get a pair out of these. And I know a few friends of mine are working with them as well, so fingers crossed one of us does eventually get a pair. We can continue breeding these spiders and hopefully be able to replicate what they do in the wild, which of course is you know, communal housing together in massive communal webs. But yeah, so let's just talk about a couple facts about these spiders before I show them off. So of course, Stegodyphus dumicola are commonly known as the social web spiders, or social ladybird spider, as the spider shop have named them here. They do originate from Africa, more specifically the semi-arid areas of South Africa, grasslands, and making their communal webs and like bushes and shrubs and stuff like that. And you know, they are from the family Oresidae. So Oresidae of course being the velvet / ladybird spiders, and you know, there are a few different species. I currently keep Gadana species, Erisa species blue, Gadana coming from Africa, Erisa species blue coming from Europe. But yeah, so these are absolutely stunning, and let's just pop open the lid and see if I can show off these little ones just somewhat. Ooh, one of them's fallen off the web, but it looks like this little one is just popping its head out. So there we go. There's one of 3 little slings in here. And in regards to care for these guys, it's actually fairly easy to keep Oresidae, simply because they don't really like humidity too much. There's the other one here, actually, a little bit easier for the camera. But as you can see, look at the webbing that they make. So in the wild, what they'll utilize is like branches within a bush, and they'll web up the whole area, and they will share the webbing. I probably will end up throwing photos throughout the video of what they look like in the wild, like the big webbing on bushes and stuff like that, but it's absolutely stunning. And yeah, so what I'm going to be doing is trying to replicate a semi-arid setup for them, and what I'll be doing is, you know, trying to replicate naturalistic look as well, so substrate, moss and stuff like that. So yeah, and then so those are the spiders, and what I'm going to be housing it into, just pop the lid on for just the meantime, I'll just pop these to the side here, is the enclosure that I also picked up at the BTS as well, which is this 10 by 10 by 15 enclosure. This is more arboreal than I would have preferred. I was looking to get a cube, but by the end of the show, unfortunately, Mitch and Gav from Unseen Universe sold out of them, but this one will do absolutely perfect, and it will utilize the arboreal space if I do it correctly. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a time lapse of me trying to build this, and then we're going to set it up off camera, and I'll show you what I come up with it. Alright, so now that the enclosure is all set up, I just want to quickly show off that this is the 10 by 10 by 15 Now you guys are probably wondering, Jeremy, this is quite a small enclosure, but bear in mind guys, these are just still slings, and of course I will upgrade them as they start to get to adulthood. And yes, I do intend to keep them together to see if they are a true communal spider, but I believe so from the reports I've been reading and papers I've been reading and stuff like that, they are a true communal spider. So yeah, so for the time being, this will be plenty of space, and what I'm going to plan to do is to put some pieces of cork to go all the way to the top so they can utilize a large area to make a lot of webbing, and then you know, add some substrate, some decor and stuff like that. So yeah, let's just quickly do a little bit of magic. We'll do a finger snap into the finished enclosure. So 1, 2, 3. All right, and with a terrible click and the power of editing, now you see the finished product of what I decided to do with this enclosure. So I'm going to be talking about why I've set it up the way I have, explaining the benefits of each thing, and then we'll be moving on to rehousing these absolutely gorgeous spiders. So as you can see, I did reuse that little bit of branch. It was kind of like a root inside the enclosure, as well as a piece of cork bark that had some moss on it, simply because I like the look of it, and it will allow them to have anchor points to place their webbing along. If they decide to go behind the cork bark, they can tunnel up, or if they decide to use both the branch / root and the cork bark, they have a place to go all around the enclosure. Now, since them being a semi-arid species, you don't want to keep them on like purely dry substrates. So what I've gone ahead and done is mix some sand with topsoil and peat moss, so this will maintain humidity whilst allowing the surface of it to dry off slowly. And what I'll occasionally do is mist, but I won't mist very often. Likely what I'll be doing is misting once a month or something like that, simply because you don't want to keep these guys super humid. You kind of want to let them dry out here and there. That's how I've been keeping all of my Ericedae successfully, just not spraying them super often, but you do want to give them a little bit of a watering, maybe once a month. And then what I've also done in the back is I placed some of this moss I got from Amna from Hertmania. Now it does look humid, but it's actually dried out since getting it, and that's perfect because it still looks lush, but at the same time it's not maintaining that humidity too often. It'll probably end up absorbing some of the substrate humidity as well. And then I've scattered in some crushed leaf litter just for aesthetics, and they'll probably utilize it in their webbing as well. And yeah, so I didn't end up going too much near the arboreal space near the top. I've ended up staying near towards the terrestrial areas, just so it gives me a little bit of maneuverability within the enclosure if I needed to take out some more prey, because what they'll do, they'll eat the prey and then they'll stick it around the web. So if it gets a bit too much, I can always pluck away some of the dead inverts that they've eaten, and basically maintain this enclosure. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. So I'm pretty happy with how this enclosure looks. If you guys have any advice on how I should change it in the future, do let me know down in the comments below. But I'm pretty happy with this enclosure, and let's get these beautiful Stegodyphus dumicola, not lineatus, dumicola, rehoused in here. So now we move on to the final part of today's video, which of course is the actual rehousing part. So I've already gone ahead and taken out the Stegodyphus dumicola and popped them into a little sling pot, as you can see, and they are really cute. Take a look at those. The abdomen's really pretty with like a reddy orangey brown coloration, and there are 3 little slings in here. Not the best focus in the world, but we'll get them inside the enclosure shortly. And I'm just going to pop these lids open. I forgot to mention earlier that these are actually magnets and they hold together, and what you can do is just slide it, leave it like that. And I'm really a big fan of the Unseen Universe acrylic enclosures. I just love the way that you can just lock the enclosure like that, just using magnets, no bands. And super clean, really smooth, high quality acrylic. And yeah, I'm just really happy. And hopefully these little Stegodyphus will appreciate this enclosure as well. So I'm just going to give them a little nudge and encourage them to come out of the sling pot. There's one. Come on. Ooh, got some webbing on there. Just leave that on the branch. There's 2. Come on, out you come. And there's 3. Lovely. So nice smooth rehousing. I wasn't expecting anything dramatic, because Ericedae are fairly easy to rehouse, but yeah, so as you can see, one's already here, one's on a branch, and I think one's just scuttled off into the leaf litter. But I really like the look of this enclosure. And yeah, so let me know, guys, if you are interested in an update, and I will probably update you guys as these get older, and hopefully in the future I'll be able to pair them. But yeah, so that is pretty much the end of today's video. Let's get into the outro and end it here. So that is the end of today's video, guys. What do you think? One absolutely fantastic setup that I managed to come up with for this absolutely beautiful Stegodyphus dumicola. And as you can see, they do utilize all the space with all the webbing. So hopefully at some point when they get to a larger size, I'll be able to give them a nice large enclosure that they'll be able to utilize all the area to web up. And hopefully I'll be able to get more individuals and potentially introduce those into the communal. I'm not too sure if that will work or whether or not it's just you know, through sack mates that it works out as a communal. But you know, that's what I like about the hobby, is, you know, trying different things and see if it works. But nevertheless, even in the future, I would hope to be able to find someone with an opposite sex to what I managed to get. So hopefully we'll be able to breed these and keep them going in the UK. And if you follow these setups like what I did today, basically you'll have success with all the rest of their species. Just got to remember that they do come from arid environments and not desert environments. So, you know, occasionally they do get rainfall and stuff. So although they do prefer it dry, they do, you know, appreciate a little bit of humidity here and there, but not too much at all. Basically keep them dry, but not super bone dry. But yeah, so that's the end of today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd really appreciate if you would click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell down below so you guys don't miss out on future content. Also, really appreciate if you guys would follow me on Instagram, Jeremy's Wild World, as well as my Facebook page, Jeremy's Wild World as well. I'm really active on there, posting pictures and videos of the animals and inverts I keep when I don't upload on YouTube. So that's all for me today, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.